welcome. Another fabulous episode of
Spoken with Purpose. Yeah. She said S to the purpose. That's spoken with purpose. Look.
I was going to say SWP.
You was.
Yes, I was.
I jumped in there. I thought you was
it's okay.
Slipping a little bit. My bad, but it was me. Anyway.
Okay.
So y'all see in the head, I don't even know what the hell the subject is called. I'm all over the place today. I'm telling you now. What you in there, Tad?
We're let's chatting about the vote.
Okay. Let's
talk about the vote. Let's talk about the vote.
Let's talk about this vote thing. That's what I think it say. What they say?
Let's talk about the voting thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this voting thing.
All right.
Did you vote?
I haven't voted yet.
Okay. I voted yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You look like an old voter today.
Oh,
she look like a motherfucker that just voted. I'm gonna have that look Sunday. Look, I tried, but these got their insurance. Like, I ain't going without insurance. Cause they gonna vote.
That's right.
But they ain't gonna stop my vote. I promise you that.
Right.
So
I like that. When I go vote, I take Soraya with me. So I get I'm voted, and then she gets a future voter sticker.
Oh, that's so cute. She get on future vote.
A future voter, because we're gonna vote. Because it's important that we vote.
I agree.
She knows it's important because she's getting the future vote. Something for her to look forward to.
Yeah, that's crazy because it's so crazy that you say that because I never really understood the importance of vote, and I just knew that we could vote. So when I would become of age to vote, I was ready to vote.
Right.
But I only vote in the presidential vote. But we're going to talk about this because probably a lot of y'all jokers doing the same thing.
Right.
If y'all ain't, y'all should have helped us out, the ones that don't. No, because my mom is very serious about voting. So it's like, you know, my mom vote with every time it's time to vote, even in the smaller elections, not just the presidential election. But anywho, we brought about this topic because it's necessary. Y'all know we normally have the necessary conversations that a lot of people don't like to have. And, we kind of don't really take this direction on the show, but we go whichever direction the Lord leads us. So that's why we're here today. Right. But I noticed that a lot of people may not even understand why we vote or even the process of voting. So that's kind of what brought about this conversation, so we can kind of help y'all out, all right? Not only am I helping y'all, I'm helping me too. Because I had to do a lot of research to bring this information to y'all. Her too. So we know
got some good stuff. We're not claiming to be an expert at all. We took some time to write down some stuff
that we read up on.
And we're gonna present it to you. And always, please comment, like, share this video. Please, whatever you have, if you have a question, ask us.
Hopefully we got an answer for you.
Hopefully.
Once again, we ain't no experts in this category.
But I got
also if we
Google right here real fast.
Look, somebody that named me the Googler. Just call me the Googler. But if y'all also hear us misquote some stuff, drop it in the comments. I was just saying, because again, we ain't no experts. Now, we ain't act like we know dummies, but we just trying to make sure y'all understand that we ain't no damn expert.
Right.
All right, so we're going to start with pretty much, why we vote? Y'all free. Shit, we free. Yeah. At the end of the day. Yeah. But, it's a lot of us free, opinionated people in the world. Mm-hmm. So we have to have some type of, we got to come to some type of agreement to be able to, have a baseline that we all kind of agree with and follow. How about that? It's kind of something to keep us all in control. How about you say that? That's the best way I can put it down. Mm-hmm. But anywho, as far as to the voting, because we are free, they kind of call it a democracy. And cut it, because y'all know I mispronounce a word in a minute.
Cousin, you got this.
Over this way. Look, my sister, let you know, get the mind out your face. So it's a democracy, pretty much. It's a form of a government. Because I don't want to misquote nothing. Let me skim over this real quick, because I got so much information here. Okay, so it's like we are a form of a government that we as people pretty much have power to choose who governs us, how they govern us, and who pretty much governs us. So we vote to put all these different people in different offices.
Right.
To come up with these laws that we all gotta vote on, and the majority pretty much sets everything in stone. If you understand what I'm saying,
Right.
Break it down.
You did, but you did really good. You did.
You got a better way
Also
to explain it.
AKA.
Voting is your chance to stand up for the issues that you believe in.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
for your community, for your neighborhood, your parents, your kids. That's your chance.
Yeah.
I know there are some that may say they don't listen to us. They don't really care. That's your only chance. This how they set it up.
Yeah.
This your only chance.
Yeah. It's a couple different, because they have two. You know, as far as what I was just saying, like the smaller voting, not just the presidential election.
Exactly.
The ones that really directly affect us is the ones that a lot of us don't
Right.
even participate in.
Your taxes, the funding for your school,
Your
the governor, the mayor,
Right.
the police.
All that.
I don't think we can vote on judges, but I think a president can put a judge in place, and he's in place for
I
his
researched
entire
that, so
life.
You know that?
Yeah.
No, it's nobody in there for the entire life.
Judges?
Y'all know the answer to that?
Do you know that?
So it's
Can a
judges
judge
for
be a
life?
judge for life? Unless you
Well,
vote.
we know they can get taken down, but are they being sworn in for life? I guess is the question.
And that's what we have to vote to
I don't
change them to get
Yeah,
them out.
we know someone get kicked out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the fucking vote.
And I think you should vote. I think you should participate. It's your right. Vote.
Yeah, it's definitely right.
Because if you don't vote, it's like you let somebody else decide for you.
No, shut up.
Yeah, don't complain.
Yeah, if you don't vote, I say shut up. Now, if your voting rights them and ticket, we're gonna kind of dive. We're gonna touch bases with that.
And try to see if you did you get the information?
Yeah, I did. I found a little information out there for y'all jokers who feel like y'all either can't vote.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether or not you can't vote, if you don't know if you can vote, pretty much it'll tell you how your voter's right will be taken. I'll say that. I'll narrow it down to that. All right. So as far as to after we vote, as far as to choosing our government, which is pretty much the voting process, how we go about voting is we use these ballots, right?
The ballots. Oh, I forgot the ballot. It's in the car.
Yeah, and it's on a sample ballot.
You printed out one?
No, I saved it from when they mailed it to me in the mail.
And you left it in the car.
I left it in the car.
So what it had on it? Did you skim over it?
Yes. You vote for, of course, the president, the vice president. You vote for a judge, water works, the water irrigation, water management. What it is, water.
Whether or not y'all want weed legal. In
No,
Florida.
that wasn't on the ballot. That wasn't on the ballot.
Whether or not y'all want minimum wage to be raised to $15.
That
It's a lot of
was
junk
on
the ballot.
that was on there.
Yeah.
But they're gonna only raise the minimum wage to $15 next year to 21.
What is the minimum wage right now?
I mean, no, $10.
In Florida, what's the minimum wage? Ain't it $9.75? What is it? $9.25?
It's
Yeah.
not $10.
Shit, I don't know. Make it. What is it?
It should be.
You think it should be 10? No,
I
they
think it should
trying to
be
get
more.
15.
They need to be more.
I was talking junk to Keisha because I didn't even tell y'all what her vote is because Keisha voted, but we ain't gonna get into that because you vote in secret because these ballots pretty much, you have the ballots, right? As far as all the things that you're gonna vote for.
Right.
Excuse me, but it's pretty much a secret ballot because if you've ever voted, when you go into your polling place where you're gonna vote at, then you'll see like these little cubicles.
Mm-hmm. You have to have your ID first.
Yeah.
You have to have a government issued ID.
Well, in order to, first of all, you gotta be registered.
Registered.
To vote. You gotta
18.
be registered. Yeah, you at least 18 or older in order to register to vote. But in order to vote, of course, you have to be registered to vote. That's what people don't really understand the process. People may be excited to vote, and then they get down there to vote and don't realize that they never even registered or never even knew they had
Well,
to
who you
register.
is?
It's 8:56. the minimum wage.
Dang.
Minimum wage in the state of Florida
Is $8.56 damn cents.
Wow.
Get
Wow.
your ass in there and vote.
Wow.
Vote.
Vote.
You tired of making $8.56? Girl, they need that behind toe up. And y'all already know what
How
they
can you
make.
take care? You can't take care of your family.
Oh, you make it work now.
I know. Well,
I made it work.
That list and made it work, but it's hard out there for people.
I'm here for it. I made it work. I mean,
All we can do is vote.
I can make $15 work too.
Vote. That's sure good.
Right. So the ballot is either a slip, piece of paper, cardboard, or something pretty much similar that we place all of our votes on, right?
Right.
And then you take it to your voting location, drop it into the little machine after you pick it, and then
You get one of these fabulous stickers.
look at Tasha put a kept us. You voted the other day. I know that
voted
sticker about to fall
yesterday.
off.
Yes, it's a little loose.
Don't take it out.
Right, because I voted.
Right. I'm ready for my
pushing
little
on.
sticker.
Right, now we're all day.
I was so excited in the last election because I got to vote with my two oldest kids.
Right. that was nice
Carnisha
of
and
them.
old Toshad. They was right in there voting. I got another one who's gonna be able to vote this year. Them jokers try me, but they getting in there. But in there, who?
Yeah, Keela said the minimum wage is like $8 and something.
Yeah, 56 cents. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tosh, on the ballot, do you know everything and everybody, like who are all the candidates and all the information that's on the ballot? You know it?
No.
I'm going to tell you how I fill out my ballot. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You
No,
don't
you
want to
didn't.
know
No,
that.
you didn't.
Look, child, please. This is the presidential vote. I go in there and I know which things I want to vote for, like the $15 minimum wage,
Exactly.
the I don't even smoke weed, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make it legal, goddamn, and stop arresting people for. That's how I feel. I don't feel like it should be a drug that people should be able to go to jail for. Goddamn, and make it legal.
Right.
So it's some other things that's on the ballot that I do know, but what
The
I
other
don't know,
things-
Christmas tree like a motherfucker. I'm just saying. I know I can't be the only person out here Christmas
Or
tree
if you do it, or like I heard someone say, I just vote for everything Democrat.
Democrat. Yeah, or Republican, whatever
or
party.
I just vote for everything Republican.
Some of y'all doing that? I'm pretty sure a lot of us doing that because I know y'all. Well, I ain't gonna point no finger. I'm just telling you how I vote. God darn it, and I'm tired of voting like that. So I wrote that. I found out a little information. Studying this junk is all I'm trying to say. You know, stop Christmas tree and them votes. Now, don't let the Christmas tree stop you from voting.
Right.
If you got the Christmas tree until you learn, Christmas tree until you learn.
Right.
Okay.
And they send you the sample ballot so you could
Ballot.
go over it, so you can go over it and then try to look up the candidates right there because it was so funny. We were, one of the races was for, I can't remember the name, Alexis something.
Right.
So the girl, me and my kids were talking about it. It was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw her over here. I saw her over there. Alexis is a guy, first of all.
Carry on.
Right. Needless to say, Alexis, I'm sorry to get you back now. But you have to read up on the candidates and try to read up on the stuff that you want to be more prepared to go into your to go into your little cubicle that they sit in.
Yeah.
Now, Keela says she voted for people whose names sound black. I used to do that too.
I do that too, Kayla.
It sound like a
too.
black person.
That's so funny
But,
that you say that because I do that. You don't do that? Don't act like you never did that.
I just told you what we did.
She
We
said,
actually looked them up, but I looked up the wrong Alexis.
you see what she said, but all skin folk ain't kin folk, so do your research.
That part
Do
too,
your
man.
research. Hey,
But that is what I do, Keila.
Right.
Once I go for all the ones that look black, unfortunately, now y'all come with if y'all want people because I don't care.
Right.
Then I Christmas tree the rest of them. Which one is who name sound less evil?
Or I know, or I already know that this candidate has been in here and he's not done anything for our school. Anything
I'm trying
for
to
our
get him
community.
out of there.
He out of there. He keeps sitting all the.
Who was the governor of mayor? I'm trying to get him out of here. We're not vote for him.
But
We're not trying to vote him out.
where you gotta go here by?
Yeah, somebody tell me that. I ain't getting
Buddy Dyer.
No.
The mayor.
What's his name? I'm
The
gonna say
mayor.
tall white guy. Ain't all of them pretty much tall white, but
Not
Oh.
Buddy Dyer. He's kinda
no. What's his name? What's his name?
Governor Sanders.
Y'all who
She
watch
talking
it.
about Rick
No,
Scott.
yes.
That's what she talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Rick Scott.
Who is? He's not anything for us anymore. He's in Dallas. Well, what is he not done?
I could fall back up and still the governor. What he is? He ain't no more.
DeSantis is the governor of Florida.
He got promoted. Rick Scott
got promoted.
Oh, so he's going to be in the presidential debate next term.
He's in the Senate. I think he's in the, he's a state representative? No.
I thought he was still the governor. Don't ask me where he at.
See why you got to go out and vote?
He's in Tallahassee.
I'm so ashamed. My
Capitol.
nieces, watch out. You up there with you.
Rick Scott is the senator.
Senator in Tallahassee.
Look at you. You might know a little something. All right, so as far as to ways that you can vote, there's 3 different ways you can vote.
And the governor is DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis.
All right, so as far as to the 3, I have so much information. All right, so it's by mail, you vote early, and on election day. So voting by mail, I did not even know that. They call that's the absentee ballot. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
I used to hear the absentee ballot and I didn't know what the heck it meant. Mm-hmm. So it's you voting by mail. You need an absentee ballot in order to vote by mail. You know, I actually thought vote by mail was vote by mail, like you got to mail that joker in. But I didn't know that you can actually go and take it, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
like you can actually go and take it at the polling locations and drop them off.
Yes, because and why would you do that? Because it's just every time the voting here in Florida, you know, it's some shiggity going on.
Yeah.
Like I even heard of one polling station where when they gave you your ballot, I know they're supposed to write the number on the ballot. They're not supposed to write anything else or highlight anything else. That makes the ballot unacceptable to the machine, so you can't do that. So they're only supposed to write the number, whatever that number they give you when you come in and give you your license. You're not supposed to make any other marks, not supposed to fold it, bend it, or anything. If they do that, it's going to make it not valid. So you have to watch
what
that.
they do when it's not valid?
That means your vote don't count, and you thinking that you did because you done filled it out and it still got marks on the stuff. And when you put it
so they don't let you know that it's not valid while you still there?
No, they don't.
Well, how they taking wrinkled up or folded up? If
If it's not legible, you can redo it. But if you just dropping off your ballot, they don't open it up and do it in front of you.
No, this is why you're picking up your while you're going to the polling station.
Yeah. So you talking about when we're you talking about on the day of election, or you just talking about when we just go in there and just vote, period?
And vote, period. There's so many people doing so many tactics, as I heard, tactics to keep you from voting. Intimidation tactics, like some of these counties with the small towns, a lot of the homeboys are coming up there, standing up there, trying to intimidate you not to give you your vote. Just
girl, they're a hot mess. That's voter suppression, like man. Yeah, it's so crazy because my daughter was talking to her dad the other day, and that man is special, to say the least. And he went to vote because he got his voter's registration card, so he is registered to vote. You know what I'm saying? So he goes up there to try to vote, Tosh, and the people tell him that they can't find him in the system. Basically, you ain't registered. Long story short, we can't find you in the system, so he can vote. So he was showing his natural bone behind, but the point is he clearly has a voter's registration card. Meaning that you are eligible to vote. You have a right to vote. But this is another type of voter suppression. Because they know that you're not going to go to another polling place to try to vote or even try to push the issue, if you will, to make sure that you actually vote. And this special behind himself, he said, they knew because I showed him. Now we can see you laugh, but boy, just to even get him in there for the first time, and then now we see him laughing, but the junk ain't funny. But it is a form of voter suppression. Where they'll make you believe that you're not even in the system. Press the issue, god darn it. I'm just saying, if you up there, get in there, god darn it. If they don't accept you at that one, you're registered to vote, make the sacrifice and go to another polling location. Okay? You understand? But as far as the voting by mail, that's what you can do. You can either put it in the mail. You can actually go to the polling place and drop it off there, or you can actually have it's an authorized designated person that actually would deliver your ballot to the polling place.
All right.
Kind of cool, right?
That's kind of awesome. I like it.
Now, when you're doing it that way,
none of that. I don't trust none of that mess.
I don't either. Now, if I did it by the mail, I actually would be the one to take it up there to the
To
polling
drop
place.
it off to know.
I ain't doing that either.
Yeah, I'll do that. I mean, it's the same thing. You sitting in there, you going to the polling place, you writing your junk down on the ballot, it's the same thing, right?
No.
What's the difference?
If you take your absentee ballot to the polling place, no, it's supposed to be in a sealed envelope and you dropping it off. They put it in a bag.
Put it in the bag.
They put it in a bag.
It didn't tell me nothing like that.
They put it in a bag.
Okay.
You said just throw it in the bag.
Yep.
I didn't read that, you know, but that's not to say that it don't, because she just said they put them in the bags. So yeah, but in regards to having someone else who's a designated person to actually take your ballot when you're voting by mail, to drop it off, like if you changed your signature, your vote ain't gonna be counted, because you're gonna basically leave the decision up to people to decide whether or not they want to count your vote. And y'all already know they're gonna lean towards the direction of not counting your vote. So you want to leave everything off the table for them to not count your vote. So if you change your signature, make sure that signature is on your voter's registration card, the one that you receive in the mail. And that's how they can identify you.
Yes.
They don't even ask for the voters' cards anymore.
Yeah, I don't either, because I use my ID.
Just your driver's license.
Yeah, they
I
don't
take
even
it
ask
just
for
in
the
case,
card.
but still, I do it my ID.
And my card doesn't ask for a signature, period.
On your voter's registration.
Yeah, there's no signature.
Mine did. Did you pay attention? You pay attention? Well, I definitely signed mine.
I thought I was gonna have to stand in a long line. I thought I was gonna be late for work again.
And you got through?
Got out of my car. Had to turn around because I forgot my mask.
But you was basically in and out.
I got my mask. I was in. You go right through there. You have driver's license out. Driver's license out. Walk right on up. Check you out. Signature.
Christmas tree. And go home.
That would be me. She said she know what the hell she got going on.
Some
like
of
that.
them. Some. Oh, okay.
Black.
Oh.
Evil. Sound like an angel's name.
Oh.
You gotta be petty. I mean, I'm just saying. But the next way that you can vote is consider early voting. They said that they have to at least give us 8 days at minimum to be able to vote early. And then, of course, each state supervisor of elections, they could add additional dates, you know, if they decide, and that's per county. But they have to give us at least 8 days at minimum to vote early. I never knew I was voting early. Never knew. I knew I was voting, but I never know I was in the voting early category.
If you vote before election day on
Correct.
November was that the 3rd?
Yeah.
So
Tuesday.
then that must mean
Tuesday.
you didn't know there was an election day.
Yeah, makes sense. So I didn't know it was actually an election day.
You just thought it was an election 2 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I definitely didn't think of it that way, but that's what it was. I thought it was an election period for us to there vote in. They just separated the shooting categories, I'm just saying. But you heard what I said. It's considered early voting. But you still have to have a valid ID when you go in there to vote as well. And also something that I learned this year is because I did know that when you're early, now I found out I was just early voting, but I did know that you could vote anywhere.
When you voted early.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought literally anywhere. At least I didn't think it was in a whole other state. I thought it was anywhere in the state of Florida. That's not
So
accurate.
any
You
county.
still have to do your county.
Yes.
Seminole County can only go to Seminole County.
Yes.
Orange County can only do Orange
Exactly.
County. Volusia.
Correct. So you
Wherever
can go
you
to
are.
any of the voting sites in your county.
Yes.
Because I'm in Volusia County, and my kids stay over in Seminole County. So I was like, we finna go over here to the post office in Seminole County. Since I gotta leave Volusia County, come get y'all to make sure that y'all jokers vote. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I thought, and I didn't know that. So just in case you guys thought like I thought that you could vote anywhere in the state of Florida early, no, you can vote at any polling site in your own county early. But on the day of election, you got to go to your actual polling station. And if you don't know your polling station, it's on your voter's registration card, or you can also look it up online.
Absolutely.
Great. You're great. I just want to make sure. Oh, I did hear, like, say for instance, if you got a problem with your ID and they can't identify you, you know, like they're having a hard time identifying you, you can actually ask for what they consider a provisional ballot.
Oh, okay.
Look at that, girl! It's a provisional ballot,
Okay.
and what they do is they take it and they validate it, and they will count your vote at a later time.
If somebody else is taking the time to give y'all all this information, please let me
Y'all
know.
just take
'Cause
off.
you guys are being informed tonight.
I'm just saying, I know some of this information.
I'm telling you. Wow. Say that again. Read that back.
Yes, if you have a problem with, you know, not with people not identifying you, like say for instance your ID card, I don't know, it's fucked all up. I don't know. Anywho, you don't have the proper ID in order for them to be able to, you know, I guess maybe you could say valid ID. So you can actually ask for a provisional ballot. You know, I have a hard time with pronouncing things, so I'm gonna let her see it just to make sure I pronounce it correctly.
Provisional.
I see
Provisional ballot.
Not valid, it's valid. But yes. And then we have the last one is voting on election day. And just in case y'all don't know what day that is
Tuesday.
Correct.
Tuesday.
That is November 3rd. You heard me. Again, that does have to be at your polling location. And the polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And as long as you are in that line at 7 p.m., you can be out there to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Because you still get the vote.
Because you gonna get your vote.
That's
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let it stop you. So if you pull up
Right.
at 6:58, show out like my baby daddy if they tell you you can't vote.
Right.
And he showed out.
That is, you still get to stay there. That is a mess.
I'm
I'd
just
be
saying.
so mad
Now my
if I was at the
son,
polling station.
what? If they told you can vote?
No, but you know what? Coming up at 6:58. You know we close at 7.
Oh, if you work there. That what you talking about?
Yes.
I mean, well, they better expect to be there all night. That don't make no
Exactly.
sense.
They always there all night.
They should
They
be
are.
happy to see people
I was
coming
just
in
saying
there at
that I
6
had been working there. You know how you working somewhere. And somebody comes slide me in and close the
You better-
door.
Yeah, well, that's different. Yeah.
Sure is. As soon as I get a phone call that's at 5, what time I get off of work? 6:58. You might not get that.
Okay, so
I'm just saying, I take the call.
the provisional vote.
Yes,
If your
provisional.
ID is
Left all up, not valid.
not valid,
Then you can get a provisional.
we can put a provisional ballot.
Okay. Now my son has said something to me in regards to not going to the polling place to vote because somebody had sent them a message talking about the line was wrapped around the building, and y'all already know these kids looking for any type of reason to not vote.
Excuse.
You know, so they was like, man, you know, all of that extra junk, like, man, nobody going to go vote, man, because ain't nobody finna stand there long behind line, man. They just saying this hot, you know, all of that extra junk. Just said, we got to be real, right? That's what they was talking about. And personally, I don't give a darn because I expected to stand in the line. And all I needed to do was get them in the car. So whoever the hell called my kids or texted my kids, I got a whole problem with you because I'm looking for you. But in addition to that, you know, because I couldn't get them in the car, now I got to get them in the car another day. So, but he thought, he was like, we ain't even got to go to the polling place. We can vote on our phone. I said,
What?
No. He was absolutely incorrect. Now, the dumbest question you can ask is the one you don't ask. But, you know, I'm talking about he thought he could. And I researched it because I didn't know. I never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know these days. But you can't. Mail, early, and election day. That's it.
He probably got it confused. Whoever told him that, or he got it
Probably
confused
registered.
with registering.
Yeah, register
You
to
can
vote.
register to vote
On your
your
phone.
phone. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I noticed that's a lot of kids around here. When I say kids, because I have young adults,
Right.
you know, so they, you know, they just in their 20s, barely in them. excuse me. So some of these kids don't even think that they're registered to vote, and y'all jokers was probably registered to vote in school. Whether it's college, you know, and it depends. Like even when you're going to certain places, you know, they already be having people there. Like, do you want to register to vote?
You registered to vote. Standing out there till you come, you done went to Walmart and shopped all day, and then here comes somebody. Are you registered to vote? Listen, I just want to put the ice cream in the cup for you. But it won't take that long, man. Just
Right.
registered to, you know what?
Right. Just put my information,
Right.
and you probably don't even remember. They did it 2 years ago.
Flip it over on the back, please.
You can look it up online. You can find out, right, Keisha? You can find out whether or not you're registered to vote by looking it up online. Am I correct?
That is correct.
The supervisor of elections, yes. The supervisor of elections.
We'll let you know online.
Yes.
The supervisor of elections are busy. I'm just saying, because I kept hearing a lot about them every time I kept reading all this information. I felt like I was doing the paper for college. But, you know, we here. So, how often do we vote?
For the presidential,
Yep.
every 4 years.
Correct. That's how often I vote. But that's all you know?
No. Then you have your yearly votes.
Mm-hmm.
You have your, that's your mayor, your police chief, your
Student council, all those people.
yeah,
Governors, all those people.
all those.
Legislators, all of those.
All of those.
I have it wrote down. It's in there. All
Yeah.
the stuff I got it done.
Yeah,
I did. I wrote it down.
I feel we was good now.
Yeah, but it's in there. Yeah,
It's
your
in
county
there.
commissioner,
Yeah,
all those people. Right.
all of
Okay.
those, all of those. Your superintendent of your schools, your
Yeah.
children's schools, your
The
taxes,
stuff that
if you raise your taxes, or if you get this over here, that over there.
Yeah,
Yes.
stuff that directly
Yes.
affects you.
It
That's
does.
why I can't believe I'm only voting in the presidential elections. But complaining about the stuff that we deal with kind of every day, which means that's when we really need to be voting in the smaller elections.
We should be thinking about that, but sometimes life just come at you, man. You're dealing with so much other things, and you want it. Your intention is to do good and to vote. Your intention is to read up on this, but at the same time, you're trying to go at your job and you're making under $10 an hour, trying to take care of your kids.
$8.56.
Oh my God.
I wasn't intending on researching
We
nothing.
should keep up on that, on those lower levels as much as we do at the presidential. Yes, I agree. I think that's where we can make some good change. If we start at the lower and we make these people work for us, because that's their job.
Especially while we're dealing with the, Black Lives Matter. That's really what we can be heard at, is what I'm saying, because it's dealing with the, the county that you stay in. It's stuff that directly affects you. So get in there and make sure you vote.
Oh, look at Keela. Keela has a question for us.
Oh no!
Hey, Keela. Keela says, did y'all research electoral votes?
You know it.
How does that work? Because a president can win based on the people's vote. But if the other candidate gets the electoral vote, it automatically counts.
Yeah.
That's right, Akila. That's right. I did too.
I did. That electoral vote, I was confused. I was a little bit confused. I ain't gonna say, well, yeah, I was a little bit confused when I was reading certain shit. Because it's so much information. If you don't know how to process it, like I literally got like a brain overload.
Yeah.
Because even some of these words, I didn't even know like what the heck they meant, because this is outside of my scope of support. You understand? Or outside of what I know.
Exactly.
My everyday knowing or understanding. So I had to stop, define words before I could, because why the hell you gonna keep reading and you don't even understand what the hell that word was, but yet you gonna read it out like you even understand what the hell.
Exactly.
So I had to stop and define words so that I could be able to continue to read and be able to comprehend what I'm reading. I told that like I was doing a college paper time.
See, you usually research a lot of stuff for all the shows. Yes, right here.
I ain't doing no mom.
It's real. Put it right here in your face. The answer to your question, Akila, is what I was trying to figure out, or what I was getting confused on, is how much the state are, because each state is represented by that number. So the total number of electoral votes to win is 270 or more.
Yeah, their goal is to definitely
get 270 or more. Now, what I was trying to figure out is Florida get 15 or Tennessee get 25. You know what I'm saying? How did they put all those numbers together?
But I did research that because they said each state except Nebraska and Maine has 2 senators.
Come on now.
And then, depending on how big the state is or how large the state is, they have, they're given a certain amount of representatives. Mm-hmm. So the senators and the representatives total for that state is the total amount of the electoral votes.
Okay. So that's how we get the 270 or more to win, because that's what you need to win.
Yeah, in order to be able to win the presidential election, you have to have at least 270. Because you're trying to, it's crazy, because this is what I found out. Listen. Because we think that, well, they're saying, they're basically telling us, because when we go in there and we vote, we think that, okay, I'm voting for Biden, you vote for Trump. You know what I'm saying? We thinking that those are the people that we vote and they put in our junk and that's how they're going to decide to vote. Now, we are considered the popular vote. That's what that is, right? Right, Keisha? So our vote, little old us.
Right.
Little old us is considered the popular vote.
Right.
So now when the electoral votes come in, I just told you who the electoral votes are. So you can actually win. Well, I'll say this before I go into that. We don't directly vote for our president. Us popular people do not directly vote for our president. Got it?
Got it.
And back to the electoral.
Where you vote?
Right, well, we still on that. I'm just bringing it down.
Yeah, but I just want to correct you what you said about the senators. What did you say? 2 senators?
It's 2 senators per state, except Nebraska and Maine.
But it's not only 2 senators per state, because there's also the amount of House representatives in the state too. Because Florida actually has 29 electoral votes.
You didn't listen to me?
All I heard you say was 2
Exactly.
senators.
So I'm just telling you that in those, however many electoral votes that they have in each state, it's only 2 of those that are senators. The other ones are just representatives, is what I'm telling you.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, my bad. So, but yeah, that's what it is. 2 of them are senators, and the rest of them are representatives, according to how big your state is. Because clearly, it may be only 7 electoral, because they call it the college. So it's like 27 electorals in one state, and then it could be 7 in another one, 34 in another. Okay? So, all right. So basically, what we're doing, we can go in there and we can vote Biden, Democrat. Because your vote because we don't directly vote for these people as though we think. What we're doing is we're pretty much let me write, because I wrote it down.
Okay.
So I want to make sure I get it incorrectly. Hold on. Okay, so it says we can actually vote for a candidate who's Democrat. In this case, we'll just say Biden as an example. But in all actuality, we are voting for a slate of electors who promise to vote for that candidate for me.
Wow.
You hear me say that again?
So my vote, I'm not going in to vote for me. I'm going in to vote. Now, my vote for Joe Biden isn't a check for Joe Biden. It's a vote.
Promise that somebody else.
It's a promise that somebody else is going to vote for Joe Biden for me.
Correct.
Partially correct.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, Taj. That's where the electorals come at. You're pretty much giving it to the electorals. You're saying, okay, electoral college, I want to vote for Biden, right? You know what I'm saying? So I trust that when I go in here and select Biden on this ballot, that you gonna make sure that, you know what I'm saying? Like my vote goes towards Biden.
Wow.
So that's just the first part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all get it? Y'all following me? So now that every state has, know what I'm saying, a certain amount of electoral votes in each state. Let me make sure, because y'all know I don't want to miss no information. Hold on.
While she's looking up that answer, Keela, is that Keela?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's Akemia, sorry. Akemia came with a comment as well. Hey, Kimi.
Hey, Mimi.
Hey, everybody watching. It says, and this is why filling out your census is so important. The money goes to your neighborhoods and your schools and your boys and girls clubs and fixing up the landscaping in your area.
Yeah. Look, Kim be on.
Also, Keela has a comment again. She says trying to influence the electoral to choose who we pick.
Yeah, that's what it is, Keela. When I was reading it, like I was studying this, I was like, well, why? You know, you because you know a lot of people be like, I ain't vote because they gonna cheat anyway. That ain't your damn business, you know. Regardless of whether they're gonna cheat anyway, if we think about all the excuses of why not to vote, then you gonna not vote. I'm just saying, you're not going to vote. So just vote. They gotta have something to cheat with. I'm just saying, we gotta be petty. But I'm just saying, yeah. At the end of the day, get in there because it weighs. It does weigh in there. It's not like they could just do whatever they want to. It sounds like that, but they really don't. They really can't.
Yes, they can.
Okay, so like example, like the state of Texas. Okay, well let me continue going. Because I want to make sure that I have this information, because this was what I was really concerned about, how these electoral votes come in, because this is pretty much how our president is elected. Not by us, but by these electoral votes. So I'm trying to make sure that I go in order. Okay, so Tosh did bring that out, because the president who actually wins the majority of the electoral votes is the one who's going to be the president. And the goal for them, the amount of electoral votes that they're trying to gain is, it has to be at least 270, like you had said. It has to be 270. Now, if neither candidate gets or reaches 270 electoral votes, then it goes to the U.S. Congress, which is the House of Representatives. So I was like, okay, so how does this kind of come into play? Because I was like, this kind of interesting. So, you know, how these jokers finna figure out how to cheat is what I was thinking. Though I said, this is what I would argue, because I feel like the electoral votes is a kind of cheating process anyway. Because you could win the whole state of you could pretty much win the state of Texas. State of Texas has 34 electoral votes. So you can win the popular vote by 80%. But because it's 34 electoral votes, you can actually win the state by the popular vote, but you can actually lose it by the electoral vote. So if you get, let's say 27 of the electoral votes, then your 80% of the popular vote don't even count. You get the whole state if you win the electoral votes. That's how that go.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, ain't it?
That's really not how that goes.
That's
that
weird.
is exactly how I go. I research this thing, hunty.
That's not how it goes.
Okay, well then bring
we
it
have a difference of opinion in the audience, in the house.
But anywho, I'll let Keisha make her point, because this is what I studied. Okay. And so when I said that it then goes to the House of Representatives, if they don't reach those 270 votes, then then what they do is all of the representatives of each state, which is pretty much the electoral, the people who are in the electoral votes in each state, then go to their voting station, which is let me not say it, the capital. Each state's capital, and then they actually vote, which is crazy because then they vote, right? But they don't vote until December. Remind you, our election date
is November the 3rd.
The 3rd. I said, well, what? The president has already decided on the 3rd, but these jokers they vote or they don't decide who is president until December. Y'all know how they do that?
And I'm just going to say, Antonia, how do they do that?
I don't really know, but this is what I think. No, I'm just playing. They said that, say for instance, like when it comes to advertisement, you know, like when they out here and they doing that, you know, like they're running for presidency. So, you know, they spending all this advertisement as far as promoting, you know, whoever they are, you know, vote for me.
Right.
So in certain states, they don't even advertise in at all because most likely I already know which state, which way they're going to vote. Democratic or Republican, in other words. So they put a lot of the advertisement in other states like Florida, certain states, right? Because they're considered swing states.
Okay.
So that's pretty much how it goes.
Yes. Good job, Tanya. Good job.
I was looking. I've been studying Keisha. Now, what you had wanted to add, because they do go once the House of Representatives, they all go to their state capital, and then they vote as far as who they want to vote for, but only one of those votes count. Because then at that point, versus you having 37 electoral votes and 12 and 7 and 10, and on the whole map of the United States, now they only get one. So whatever popular vote out of all those states, then they actually win the presidency. So what did you want to bring out, Keisha, that was incorrect?
So the electoral college is 538 people.
Yep.
So the number that Tanya got, the 270, is basically half of that. So you have to get at least half to win the doggone vote.
Because you need a total amount.
Yes, if they were wondering where the 270 came from.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah. Oh, because we didn't break down every state as far as how many electoral votes and how many total. Yeah.
Okay.
Keila asked the question, I knew the answer, so I thought I was talking to Keila.
What she asked?
And she asked, did we research the electoral votes? When she said that, I did research that, but I didn't share that with everybody.
You mean the total? She talking about what Keisha just said?
She was just talking about the whole process, like how it's, how
538 and whoever reached 200.
Well, I mean, so that's where it starts. So they're a group of electors who basically are supposed to be like a compromise between us and some common sense, basically, is how they came up with it. But anyway, you have to get half of those votes.
Right.
And the popular vote, of course, is us, like she said. Mm-hmm. So some of the states have like a winner takes all, is what they call it. So basically,
all of the 72 states, I said.
It's 48 states. That's true, but because they have a winner take all does not mean that they have it enacted into law. So basically, what that means is, it's like a promise, just like you were saying. If you vote for Biden, it's a promise, but it's just not your vote. It's everybody's vote in the state. So your vote just goes towards that count. It's not just your vote. It's everybody's vote. Yeah. So they're supposed to take it, and if the majority of the state has voted for one particular president, the electoral votes for that state is supposed to match it. So in those 48 states, they have promised to vote the same way that all of us has voted in our popular vote. They are not held to that though. Exactly. And there's no splitting of the votes. They're supposed to get all of the electoral votes. Mm-hmm. The only time they split up the electoral votes is if there's a tie. Like if both of y'all got 270 votes. A tiebreaker, the House would do that. They would split the electoral vote, all of that crap there. So they basically can renege on their promise and change their vote if they want to. That's how Trump got voted in the last time. We won the popular vote with the Democrats, but the electoral votes overruled us because they felt like they could. I mean, they really can. So even though they can say, we're going to vote like everybody else and match the popular vote, they can renege on that decision and ultimately change the president. So that's how that goes. And it's all skewed because even though the states have different amounts of electoral votes, it's just like, so we got 29 over here, but another state got 3 and somebody else got 27 or whatever. So that means it's still uneven. So how are you going to give us 29 votes and you gave this state 3 votes? So that means that one elector might be representing 192,000 people just for that state, which is not fair when you have a state that is less people.
Because I read that. That's what they said. That's the perception, or that's what people think. But that's correct. That's when you kind of come into the tie. That's after, like, that's if it comes to a position where now all of the electors got to go to their state capital, and then the voting kind of comes just down to them. That's if it comes to that point. People think that it's just one person who's going in there to represent.
That's not what I was saying. That's not what I was saying. I'm talking about the total amount of electoral votes. Like every state has a certain amount. Correct. So it doesn't make sense. If there's 2 million people here, but we only got 20 electoral votes, how is it that we can take just 20 votes to represent 20 million people is what I'm saying. That has nothing to do with after the fact. That's the amount of electoral votes that we have for that state, which is stupid. So we should not be having electoral votes is the bottom line. That doesn't make any sense. So they're just saying we can't speak for ourselves.
Yeah, that is what they're saying. And I think at some point it did need to be in place. I think we're very capable to not have to have them in place right now.
And Kimi is correct.
You know,
Yeah, so, and I was just getting ready to say that. And so Kimi
say?
also said, and that's why people think their vote don't count.
Exactly.
And they just don't vote.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say, Kimi. That's why, because they be feeling like it's trickery. And when I was reading it, I was like, oh my God. Like when I was, It was so much. I was telling Keisha, I was like, I'm so overwhelmed. It's too much information. Like I didn't even know what the hell to do with it. But it
is Halloween. Is that trick-or-treaters? Is that trick-or-treaters knocking on
It might be. Did we turn the light on or turn the light off?
The light is off.
Turn the light off. Turn the light off. Okay, so do y'all understand the electoral process? I think I did explain it to you. But who that be?
They got more than you.
Your cousin. Oh, okay. So, yeah, and then it was just talking about how, come on, get your behind on over. I got a chair for you and everything.
Let him slide in.
He finna crawl the wall again. What's up, bro? So, as Keisha was saying, like when I dropped off and was talking about pretty much every all the electoral voters have to go into their polling stations. But they were saying like it's a twist that come in. This is where the District of Columbia came in. I was like, so many, so much.
So much. It's so much information.
Summarize that shit up.
Yeah, pretty much. They can't vote though. Like this is what they saying. Like they were saying the District of Columbia, which is Washington D.C. Huh? Okay, Washington D.C. We're pretty much at the end of it. So gets no representatives. Like they don't have no representatives. They don't have no senators, but they do get 3 electoral votes. Now I don't know how that works because I couldn't figure out what the hell they was talking about. Now y'all study that on your own time. But they do because it was too much. I was like, what the fuck? And then they was trying to tell me how Maine and Nebraska fell in there because. It was too much. It ain't but 3 of them. It ain't but 3 electoral votes between them states. They ain't no big thing.
They just throw them a bone.
Yeah, pretty much. They look like they going against the grain. Goddamn it, we ain't going with the flow. That probably would be me because I don't go with the flow anyway.
Right.
Tosh, so we did want to make sure that we told you guys about the Democratic Party, right? And the Republicans, liberals, conservatives. What you did, Tosh?
So we have I have the Democrats. The Democrats are the ones who believe in a political or social equality of all people.
Gotcha.
They are considered liberal because they support the large government role for the economic issues for like social welfare. The Republicans, they want smaller government, less involved. They don't want the government so much involved in your business. They say here that they want the taxes lower for the economy. The Democratic Party also has, right now, I also researched that we have the most seats in the House of Representatives, while Republicans hold the majority in the United States Senate, in the Senate House. Right. So that goes again to voting in your lower levels, voting for your Senate, your representatives, police chiefs, governors, just superintendents of schools. All of those take places at the lower level, so that can help you build or like stack the deck. You know, like they've been stacking the deck against us. You stack the deck against them.
I know that's right, Tasha. That's pretty much what it is.
Right. So if you do all of that, you know, in the background, so then this election race won't be so hard. They can't try to.
I like that. You
keep peeing on our head and telling us it's raining. No, man.
Right. Did you peeing on me?
Right. What else I want to tell y'all? I think that's basically it. We got one more. Yeah, that's it.
There was something else I had brought out that I wanted to bring out to you. Let me make sure that I got it because. Okay.
We had
that.
Why you should vote.
Yeah.
The places, the places you can vote. The ways you can vote.
Correct.
The places you go to vote. What do you need to in order to vote? You have to be registered.
Right.
What do you need to be registered? We told you where you can go. You can sign up to be registered on your phone.
Right.
You can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
But you have to vote. You get your absentee ballot or you
That's
vote
mail.
in person.
Yeah. And then you have to have a proper identification. But remember, if you don't have that proper
You
identification,
can have a
provisional ballot.
Also,
how often that you can vote.
how often you vote. Some of the elections that come up that you can vote in, your House representative, your superintendent, your school, your government, local.
Correct. So
Some of the stuff you vote on, the taxes, the president, the school, the zoning, the money,
commissioners,
all of that.
legislators, all of that.
Right.
So, and then you just went over the parties, the Democrat and the Republicans.
Yes.
We also went over electoral votes, and we kind of discussed as far as some of the things that you'll see on the ballot. We went into as far as how the House Senate kind of come into play, and that you got to be registered to vote. We went into, okay, so we got everything on here except the last thing that I wanted to go through, and this is who got right to vote, pretty much.
Okay.
Like pretty much dealing with convicted felons. Like the way that you can have you can be denied to vote is the simplest. You ain't registered. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people believe that they're registered and they're not registered. You have to be registered a certain amount of days before voting. A certain amount of days before the election day. I didn't see, they didn't give me as much research I did. They didn't tell me how many days that you had to be registered by.
Well,
you know that day? No.
No.
So we don't know that. If somebody do know that answer, like,
Please.
what's the latest that you can register to vote is that question. So if anybody knows the answer to that question, drop it in the comments. All right, but as far as to the information that I wanted to provide you guys concerning the other way that you could be denied to vote is convicted felons. Oh, no, because I got too much information here.
But if you're a convicted felon, you could have your rights restored.
Yeah.
So you still can vote.
Sort of, kind of.
So the registration deadline was October 6th, so just about a month before.
Just about a month before. So y'all hear that?
Very good.
About a month before, y'all got all that time to register. Dang, I thought people were still registering. Like, what's the date? The 31st?
Yeah, they registering for next year, next time.
Well, still registered, damn it.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the reasons why you could lose your right to vote. Excuse me. So they said convicted felons, even those who have served their sentences, will be denied the right to vote. So they said, but most people after their incarceration, well, first of all, they said serious crimes, which meaning felonies where they were incarcerated at least over a year, or had a fine that was exceeding $1,000. So I guess that's the seriousness of the crime. Certain crimes, certain felonies carry a certain penalty. Now I know that because some people that got arrested.
Girl, a felony is a felony. A felony is a felony. If you get it doesn't matter. Your mama had a felony for not driving without on a suspended license. Couldn't vote.
She did that more than one time.
It don't matter. It's a felony.
I know, but I'm just saying it wasn't because I drove on driving on suspended license.
But you don't have a felony. But what I'm saying is a felony. It don't matter if it was a serious crime or a petty crime. You can't vote before we voted on that.
I don't want y'all to think that driving on suspended license is a felony.
That's not what I was saying.
I'm just saying clarifying it for the people who's listening.
That's fine.
Yeah, leave what my sister be on. Like right there, you see it. You see it, bro?
All I chimed in was on the very high felony versus the very low felony. A felony is a felony.
Stay on me.
What?
Is there anything else we need to do?
Yes, I finished.
Okay, well,
right.
This is the last little bit, but I want people to pay. This is the section I want black people to pay attention to. Listen, I'm serious because in regards to your right to vote being restored, most of them rights to restore are actually restored immediately after you have been released from prison. Okay? Because you normally don't go to prison unless it's a year and a day, right?
Right.
Right.
That's
Anything other than jazz can count, right? So yeah, so that's why I said a year and over. So the moment that you're free, darn it, in most states you now have your voters' rights back. Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now
that's because we voted for that, Natasha.
Right.
We did.
Now in the state
skip that box.
In the state of Virginia, motherfucker, they're permanently gone. Do you hear what I say?
And the state of Virginia.
Virginia.
You.
Ain't no restoring.
And they voted for that.
And
they voted
yeah. Now at one point they fought because they was like they restored 140,000 convicted felons voters' rights, but it's still in the place right now. I'm just saying, so they fighting over there.
Wow.
So don't stay in Virginia. I'm just saying. And then, in addition to that, so Florida do allow some, but not all people with felony convictions to act, because we're dealing with Florida. People who done had felonies to vote, and that's after they completed their sentences. Now, some do have to meet certain qualifications. Now, they did not specify what type of crimes there are, but there are some people, in order to restore their rights, they have to meet certain qualifications. Like the state of Delaware, for example, like once they get out of prison, they have to wait 5 years. 5 motherfucking years.
5 years before you can vote again.
You still, and then some people, there's one state, I don't even remember, but it's one or two states even allow you to vote while you're in it. Like, you still get to vote in jail.
Because we need that.
Yeah.
We need that vote.
We need that vote.
Yeah.
We don't let the inmates vote. You got a problem with that? Yes. We voted on that.
I'm just saying.
There's different things that you can vote on. So y'all take the opportunity to go and vote.
Man, I finished, Tosh.
Oh,
she study keep trying to wrap me up.
You got somewhere to be.
I'm glad everybody's taking the time to get all this information because we are prepared for you guys.
Right, but them jokers GQ smooth today. You understand me? They better take their mind to the polling station like that on Sunday. Right. So, in addition to people being actually able to vote while they're actual inmates, some people were trying to prevent people, like convicted felons, to even wait till their probation or their parole was over. But most states have adopted. Once you finish your actual sentence, you can still vote even while on probation and also on parole. And we're talking about Florida. You can still vote while you on probation and you on parole. So stop thinking that you can't vote. You can. Just saying.
Some of them have to pay fines before they allow them to vote.
Yeah. Now, I didn't read that, but you heard what she said. Now, they have something called, you're going to make sure that I pronounce this word correctly.
I'm trying to do my best.
It is called disenfranchisement.
Disenfranchisement. That is a word.
So I ain't got to give it to you. Because I said that right?
You said that right.
Right. So, this is pretty much, where they're preventing convicted felons to actually vote. That's what they call a disenfranchisement, right? And disenfranchisement plays a vital part when it comes to, like, voter suppression, pretty much. I know y'all remember Al Gore because they said that that's what pretty much all y'all convicted fellas. That's why old Al Gore ain't win. I remember having this conversation on DeSoto at Fran House. I don't even say people's names, but I remember like it was a debate going on concerning this potential presidential election. Like, that was because of all y'all convicted fellas. But long story short, they were saying that this disenfranchisement currently represents 1 in every 6 African American males. 1 out of 6 of y'all black men, African American males. 1 out of all, if you line all 6 of y'all jokers up, 1 of y'all is gonna be denied the right to vote because 1 of y'all is a convicted felon.
Wow.
Stop going to jail, bruh. I'm for real, like, stop going to jail. Like, that's a way to prevent our vote from counting. Prevent you from goddamn voting. So I'm just saying, stay out of jail, which y'all already know they had them been trying to send us to jail any goddamn way. So, and they were saying, like, as far as to being able to exclude the convicted felons, it makes up it's an incentive for the Republican Party.
Of course.
So it makes up a pretty good amount of votes that kind of gives them an edge on winning these elections. And they base it out. They show how many years that it made a difference. Starting from like 1972 to 2000 is pretty much where it really took a toll on the votes. That's a lot of years.
It's a lot of years.
That's a lot of years. So, I just wanted y'all to make sure that y'all pay attention to that part. For one, you probably can vote. Go try. If you don't know, all they can do is tell you no. And if you've already, serve your sentence, go register to vote because you can. Even if you on probation or you on parole in the state of Florida, we don't talk about the state of Florida,
exactly.
You can vote. Understand?
Your power, your vote. Your power, your vote.
So that's pretty much it. You got everything that you needed out?
Everything.
Because Tasha's got a date.
We had a great show.
I'm just saying. She got a date, bro. I don't.
I also want to remind everybody.
What you want to remind?
While you getting ready to remember to turn those clocks back tonight. We're falling back 1 hour tonight.
Oh, so we get an extra hour.
Correct.
We're gonna gain an hour. Fall back, spring forward. Don't forget to change those clocks.
Y'all get to sleep a whole extra hour. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's go.
But I mean, will it get dark sooner?
Yes. I mean, it'll be dark at 6:30.
It's 6.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, because it's hitting dark around about 7, right?
Some another.
Some another. All right, so we're about to wrap this thing on out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Everybody who included things that we may have misquoted, misinterpreted. You know what I'm saying? Also, people who asked questions or even gave answers to some of the stuff
Thanks,
that
guys.
people were asking. Y'all rock. Y'all want to talk about SWP. Goddamn viewers, y'all be in there. So I do want to thank y'all, and then hell, I want to thank somebody else for actually suggesting this topic because I found out a lot of information. I didn't even go over half of the shit that I had to actually study to even give y'all this information. So if I stuttered, if I slurred, you know what I'm saying, just listen to it twice, goddammit. Motherfucker, I ain't no damn instructor. But until then, y'all already know where y'all can follow us. On this channel, this is the business channel, Spoken with Purpose Facebook page. We also have an additional one, which is Spoken W Purpose. And then we're also on Instagram, that is Spoken with Purpose, the number 3. We on YouTube, Spoken with Purpose Podcast. Y'all already know y'all can find us on Anchor, Apple, and now we're on TikTok, and that is called SWP Podcast. It might be TikToking out here in the world. TikTok. And then Tasha, we about to have a little show about Tasha now, because y'all know Tasha got a little business going on. I know y'all know she been MIA, but she got her own little thing going on. Oh, she don't believe me, but you know, just in case.
There's room. Yes.
So we're gonna actually have a special episode where she can actually tell y'all about her business. But until then, tell the people where they can follow you at.
You can follow me on Natasha Gallagher at Pure Romance. Thank you, cousin. Natasha Gallagher, Pure Romance. Look on my website. Get you some things. Let's talk about it. Sexual
What
wellness.
is Pure Romance?
Pure Romance is a company that I'm working for. That we sell luxurious bath and bodies. Real good lotions, soaps, shower gels. We sell enhancement gels. We sell lubrications. You need to be lubricated. We sell lingerie. We sell toys.
What kind of toy?
We have all kind of toys. It depends on what you need. Any kind you need. Nipples, stipulation.
Yeah.
You want vagina, hey, we got it all for you.
Yeah, because she told y'all all about the lotions and the perfumes and all of that shit. I was trying to get to the sex toys.
I'm just saying.
You know, she do sell all that other shit.
Trying to say about
how
the sex. Build it up.
Anticipation.
Boom.
It dries up, so it's only going to stay wet for a couple of minutes.
But yeah, so I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's been really good. I can't wait to bring you guys.
No lubrication.
Like they can't hear y'all.
We apologize.
A motherfucker apologize.
It needs to lubricate. Better sex is better sex. Come on now.
Okay.
I don't need all that stuff, but I guess y'all do.
That's right. Some people
if
do.
you disagree, I mean, if you disagree, comment.
Yeah.
What is it? Better say.
No, I just said
DM
her.
her.
To help me out. I got
DM me, PM me.
All right.
No.
So you make sure you tell them where they can find you at.
Yes, the Natasha Gallo got Pure Romance. And you have my
You got a different Instagram page, or it's the same Instagram?
It's a different. It's Natasha at Pure Romance.
Okay.
It's on Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna bring a special episode. It's probably gonna be like a girls' night out. I don't know. We're gonna get some creative so that way we can make sure that we share her products. Cause y'all already know she just said it's room out here for everybody to win.
It's room out here for everybody.
She
to
was
win.
SWP #1 support. Well, I don't know, cause there's a lot of #1
It's a
supporters,
lot of
but
those
she in here rocking and rolling. You know, I'm just saying. So,
Right.
motherfucker, you do what you want to do on this platform. Show them what you working with.
Yeah.
But until then, we out of here. Thank y'all again. Peace out. Thanks, sis. Thanks, brother Curtis.
You welcome.